Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 16th of April. So let's have a look at the pairs that are moving and grooving today. Before we do so, let's just look at the key news events that are due out today, Tuesday. We've seen the Chinese data out, we've seen the UK jobs data. UK jobs data, there's a little bit more of a mix than it actually shows on the headline numbers there. There was some misses as well. The actual unemployment data increased to 4.2% from 4%, and the change, well, I've got this the other way around. It seems to be a bit of a mixture, and unemployment changes. Actually, no, that's the employment change. Okay, employment change. You've got two employment changes here. Anyway, well, one's okay. The earnings is the thing here. This is still inflationary, of course. Average earnings ex bonuses 0.2 higher than expected. Not really what the central bank wants to see in terms of if they were considering cutting rates. It possibly pushes back rate cuts or gives them more excuse to cut back rate cuts. Now, only other real data today is the Canadian inflation data due out there at 1:30. Aside of that, there's some speakers, and we're pretty much done for the day. So let's get on and look at the technicals then, what's going on here. We'll start off looking at euro dollar. The euro, as expected yesterday, did continue to the downside. It wasn't a major move to the downside yesterday, and as expected, it's slowing down after its rather quite large movements we'd seen last Wednesday, etc. But for those that were patient yesterday, it had eventually sold off its its daily pivot there, and well, it's pretty much down to it's very close to its S1 here. This could still roll on during this morning. Thing to watch out for this morning is it does break back up. It has got the daily pivot, but that again could be a sell point. However, it has already hit the S1. My preference would I'll generally leave that. If it dilly-dallies around that, it's less reliable. The pound. So the pound kicked off yesterday. It's slightly stronger than some of the markets. It's managed to get a bit of a bounce, as I say. It kicked off in the end though, and it's it broke through its daily pivot here. It took away the opportunity I was looking for in the morning to sell off towards its S1. It did eventually roll over there 1:30. It kicked off later, and well, for me, it wouldn't play out at that stage. But in terms of risk and reward, however, it's sort of heading southbound again. Though at the moment, there's mixed job reports. It's seeing it get a bit more of a bounce. Maybe it's still sitting around my very important key pivot here that I've had it on for months and months, in over a year actually, and price seems to be attracted to it quite a lot. So we'll see how it reacts around this level. But anyway, no trades there for now. US dollar yen continues pushing up. US dollar doing well against the yen. As I said yesterday, is quite a step up yet to the next key level, which is where we had resistance on a bigger scale last time. Of course, you've got to be watching the whole numbers as we run up there. 150, we're about 50 pips away from the 155 and so on. 156, 7, 8. The whole numbers generally come in a little bit more. We saw it on the 152.01 here. Look, 152. The whole number provided the resistance around that area. Anyway, Aussie dollar. Aussie is selling off, or has been selling off, and is selling off, looking quite weak at the moment. And we're seeing this sort of continuation today. It's already done so much. It's sort of through its S1, not far off of its secondary target of the S2 there. So well, we'll see how things develop, but it's very unlikely I'm going to be looking for a trade off of that. The US dollar CAD, well, we've got new CAD news out later. We'll see if what this does to the Canadian dollar. Sorry, I'll come back to the dailies there. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We are pretty getting close to some previous highs here, where we found resistance for some time around those areas. We'll see if we get an equal level of resistance around those points. There's quite a few of them, so it might just slow down the US dollars rush, but at the moment it's looking quite solid to the upside here. There will be a bit of divergence over the bigger picture here with that large retrace, but at the moment still pushing upwards, and I wouldn't sell against that. New Zealand US dollar, well, the New Zealand dollar still coming off southbound. Again, US dollar still strong here, getting a little bit of a bounce, or had a little bit of a bounce here, but still looks soft. Already down to the S1, so chances are better for it to continue back down to its S2, or towards its S2 if it starts breaking this morning further. It has got untouched daily pivots, had it yesterday. When you've got markets that have touched their daily pivot and start rolling over, for me it's a preference. Although this was weak, it always has that chance of running up there before it hits the S1, but it did roll over and is continuing looking soft there for now. Swissy's a bit more consolidated. I said yesterday it often becomes a safety currency when we get political problems around the world, but it's not rushed off the same way as the other markets. It's holding on here, and in fact we saw some strengthening yesterday evening, but softened a little bit at the moment. The more it taps around, I guess, the top of these highs here, the more chance it will actually push up there. It is right close to those highs, so there's the potential that will continue to push up there, and the central bank, Swiss central bank, won't be unhappy about that. They see their currency is overvalued at this stage. Euro yen, well, still holding up there. I know this is a currency pair people like to start piling in on the shorts, but hanging in there today. Well, it's not far off its daily pivot there, but perhaps it's been close enough, it's big enough air kiss for it to continue to the upside, but nothing setting for me there at the moment. Euro pound, the consolidation just keeps going here, not interested. Pair I did look at yesterday and get into, not necessarily going the right way at the moment, but it's gone the right way, is this New Zealand CAD. It's a swing trade looking down towards its monthly S1 here. It triggered the trade yesterday afternoon there, and currently sitting in there short. Little bit of a up blip at the moment, but we're going to get these. Now it has got an untouched daily pivot here, but it's already hit the S1, so the probability of daily pivot's not so good. But it's not one to, I say this time and time again, it's not one to go chasing and try and get into now. There might be opportunities to add into it at some stage. We'll see how things develop here, but stop currently is right the way up here. There may be a case for edging the stop down at some point, but I want to see price moving down as well. Right, okay, that's why I'm sitting there at the current on the Forex side at the moment. So again, we've sort of seen it consolidate. There's potential to come about, but gold, well, gold's a bit of a weird one. Yesterday it reversed around about 3 o'clock and managed to get a bit more of a move. It's not a surprise to me that we're seeing, I mean, it ended up actually positive there for the day, but it's not a surprise for me to see that it struggles a little bit now. It's making all-time highs. There's always that disbelief, and then suddenly we see a surge as people get caught out in short squeezes, etc. But for me, it's not a nice place to be in unless you're already in and long. I certainly wouldn't be. I know there's people already suggesting to short it, and they'll take shorts on whatever case, but they were the same people were shorting it all the way up here So I tend to leave it until something actually shows its hand. At the moment, with everything that's going on, there's the upside potential on that. Oil just choking about yesterday. So yesterday it did choke about yesterday, not really going anywhere at the moment. As I said yesterday, I think with the risks in the Middle East, there's always that potential this could start flying. But for now, it's well, it died off a bit there yesterday. Never really did too much. Just rolled over. Caught it sort of later evening there, or early evening actually at 6 o'clock. But yeah, a bit of a mess. I'm not in oil at the moment. I've been trading oil. S&Ps have been off and coming off, and now we're seeing something more. I said in this 4-hourly picture, we're getting these lower highs, lower lows. Well, yesterday with that data out, well, I say the data out, what we've seen there, we're seeing further selling coming through here, looking really quite weak there now. So it's possibly a safer bet for some of the shorts. Be careful, but it's certainly more set up. Sorry, I was just looking between the two here. It's the quarterly pivot. It's dropped below now, so quite a correction. There'll be people looking for the fact that it's broken its 50 daily 50, etc. It just makes it a little bit softer. Could see a bigger correction here. I'm just looking back at the data. I was just checking yesterday the sentiment on the S&Ps. Yeah, sentiment was still relatively strong from the big money, but anyway, we will get these corrections, and this look, as I say, is probably a bit of a safer correction at this stage. Would be nice if it got back towards its daily pivot and rolled over there. Like I said, Nasdaq doing similar. I mean, it's a lot of the tech stocks that are sold off yesterday, so hence it's a big correction there. Dow Jones obviously rolling over, and whilst all that's going on, it's pointed out to me this morning the DAX has continued to roll, and well, actually it broke its trend line yesterday. I was just looking. Didn't actually hold on to that. It did break through quite a way through that trend line yesterday. It'd been holding on to for quite some time. Did go the other way for a goodly amount. Now that's messed things up, but well, so it messed it up for that while anyway. But DAX coming off here as well. It hasn't quite caught the S1. There's potential if it started getting a bit of a leg up, it could run back towards its daily pivot. The FTSE also off. Equity market's just not liking what's going on at the moment. And the FTSE, it was the last one to start moving really to the upside, but it's not hanging back on the downside here. Quite a messy market sitting there at the moment. All a little bit iffy. I can understand selling into any perceived strength at the moment with these markets. It's certainly, as I say, we're seeing more structural shifts on these, and it is sort of a safer point to be probably trading to the downside there as well. Now, one thing I would say, of course, is at some stage we might get a reversal and another lift up there, but don't want to be looking too quickly. Let it do its let the 4-hourly carry on showing its hand here for now on these equity markets. As I say, looking soft. Okay, that's pretty much it. Oh, I didn't look at crypto. What's crypto? It's just a quick look at Bitcoin. That's also off. Come back off there, topping out a little bit here into these highs. It sort of maybe again, you know, something shoves up so far at a certain time. It's got to be profit taken and everything else that comes with it, and if it can stay within a range here, it could could look quite good, but it's on the lower side of its range there. If it starts moving to the upside, well, I'm sure buyers will start coming in, and the channel will be a potential play. But for now, not looking its best. If you come down the 4 hourly, let's just look at the cracks that lay beneath. It had a lovely move into its weekly pivot there overnight. When was that? Yesterday morning. Didn't realise that so early. Anyway, hit just looking the pivots on here. Yeah, this set slightly different. Anyway, nice move into the weekly pivot there, but a break of these lows, the quarterly pivot that sits below, would be a little bit more bearish. It's whether or not it's really a question of whether we can see a hold on to the support area near this quarterly pivot, the previous lows. Right, I'll leave it there. Wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you traders in a moment back in the room. Bye for now.